Hello, everyone. Can everyone see me okay? Can everyone see me? All good? Okay, I'm just going to give people a second to get in to the room and then we will get started. We are going to talk about getting shit done today, doing the damn thing, and I am excited. I am really excited. How's everyone doing? Where is everyone coming in from? If you feel like letting us know, you can pop that into the chat. So we are basically here doing a special live episode of the podcast, and it is going to be juicy because we are talking about doing the damn thing. So we are talking about the power in getting things done, the power in showing up. I do not like my camera like this, but like, why is it like that? 1 second, guys. Just gotta update my. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay. Yeah. Pardon me. How's everyone doing? We are going to be talking about doing the damn thing, getting shit done, taking action, moving forward. And I have a special little note at the end that I'm going to share about like all of this because there is always a caveat with these kinds of conversations. So, yeah, before we get started talking about the topic for today, why doesn't everyone get comfortable and we will do a quick meditation just to kind of get us grounded and centered and feeling really good about being in this space. How does that sound? So, you're going to see me closing my eyes because that's what helps me kind of ground and center and just like really get to the space that I need to be in. You can close your eyes if you feel comfortable. And we are just going to take a few deep breaths and, yeah, just get really present. Why is my camera going in and out of focus? We're just going to get really present with whatever's coming up for us before we dive into the topic. Okay? So close your eyes. If you're sitting in a chair, uncross your legs, put your feet flat on the floor, sit up a little straighter, shoulders back, rolling them down your back, and begin breathing at your own pace. In and out through the nose. Just getting really comfortable here. Getting grounded, getting centered, coming back into your body, coming back into the present moment. No matter what time of day it is for you, just really letting go of whatever has happened today, whatever you're expecting to happen today, whatever you wished had happened today. Just being here, knowing that here is okay and it's safe and it's wonderful. There's actually nothing better than right here, right now. We're going to take a couple deep breaths together, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay, first breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And again, in through the nose. This time, hold at the top. And exhale, long and slow out the mouth. Last one, in through the nose. Take another sip of air at the top. Hold. And long, slow, deep exhale out the mouth. And just know that this is a safe space, that whatever needs to be moved or shifted or transformed It's safe for that to happen here. You know that you are tapping into your power. This call is going to activate you, and maybe it's going to trigger you a little bit too, but it is going to open you wide and get you ready for whatever is next for you. It's going to get you ready to do the damn thing, to show up, to play bigger, to vibe higher, to be everything that you were meant to be, everything that you know you are meant to be. Still breathing deeply. I ask that we all be open to whatever unfolds in our time together. I ask that we all be brave, that we ask the questions that are on our hearts, that we be willing to shift, be willing to see things from another perspective, and that we just open to new possibilities, to a new way of seeing things, to the limitless possibilities that are available to us, and all the ways that we can move forward. Take one more deep breath in with me and release everything out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose. Release. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay. Oh, so blurry, guys. Sorry. Oh, too close. Okay. Let's hope that that lasts. If anyone has any questions for me at any time, you can put them in the chat and I'm happy to answer them. But we are just basically going to get started. We are going to begin talking about doing the damn thing. Okay. So, how can I say this? I have like a lot to say about this conversation. The first thing I want to say is that this conversation was sparked by something that a client said to me. So I was inspired by the conversation that I had with her, actually. Just give me 1 second. We need more light. We need all the light we can get. Okay. I spent a lot. Okay. So like, I got this idea. It got sparked by a client. And we were talking about how when we think about setting goals, when we think about doing the damn thing, there is often this future kind of element or future energy involved. So, like, what my client said to me is that the easiest way to think about making changes is to think about this moment in the future. So we're not actually being particularly present with what we're working towards. We are, how can I say this? We are not taking full responsibility. And you guys know because you listen to me, right? And you've been here before. You're even if you're new to the podcast, if you listen to any other episode, you will hear me say this. So, self-responsibility is just like kind of a really big deal. We all need to be doing it a little bit more often, in all honesty. Self-responsibility will be something that changes your life. But when we think about moving forward, when we think about making changes, changing our mindset, going after the goals that that are sitting on our hearts or whatever, we tend to think about the future. And what happens when we do that? Well, essentially, what we're doing is we are putting all of the onus and all of the responsibility on this mystical, magical point in the future instead of taking action now. So we're basically cock blocking ourselves. Like, let's just say the thing. Let's just call it what it is, because that's basically what's happening. We are thinking about this like moment in the future when we're ready, when things are perfect, when we have things figured out, whatever it might be. I'm just hating this camera today. And like, yeah, we're just not, basically what's happening is we're not really taking responsibility for what we need to do or how we can in our current circumstances without changing anything about ourselves, without changing anything about our circumstances, how we can how we can show up now, right? So the question that I want to begin by asking you guys is, how can you begin to kind of move forward now? Well, the first thing that you can do is ask yourself, where are you holding yourself back from just doing the thing? Okay. And this could be in a million different ways. We're really good at kind of getting in our own way. So years ago, we called this self sabotage. Now we call it probably something else. But I mean, basically, the idea being that you think about doing something and then you begin to tell yourself a series of stories about why you can't, or why you shouldn't, or why that's not for you, why it's for somebody else, but it isn't for you. Like why this thing works for other people, but doesn't work for you. Sorry, my lighting is just not a vibe. There's just like a lot of stories that you're telling yourself, but you need to get clear on what stories you're telling yourself about why you can't have it. Because let me paint a picture for you. It is obvious that as I'm sitting here, unless you are engaging with me live, I have no idea who you are. I have no idea what goal you're working towards, like what thing you need to do, right? So I can't possibly know the stories that you're telling yourself, but I can take an educated guess. Like I would be willing to bet that almost all of us here on the call are telling ourselves the story that in some way or another, we are not good enough. We are not good enough. We are not smart enough. We are not pretty enough. We are not thin enough. We're not cool enough. We're not whatever enough. Like insert blank here, right? Like that's one of the main stories that we tend to tell ourselves. We are not enough to do, have, or be the thing that we want. Okay. And like we tell ourselves that like it'll be hard, or like why it'll be hard. Like we paint this picture of how like this whole thing that we're working towards is basically just going to suck, right? And like that's not a particularly inspiring picture, and that's probably not the way that you want to like organize your life, right? Like that's not, I would argue that that's like not the biggest vibe to carry forward, but yeah. And like maybe you're also telling yourself like, oh, well, that's for them, but that's not for me, right? There's this like energy of like, oh, other people can have that. Other people can do that, but like that's not my reality. That's not my experience or whatever it is. So one of the things that we need to do is we need to flip the script and we need to tell ourselves a new story. And I am not diving into that here today because that is not the point of the episode. Like we're always talking about mindset here because we're never not talking about mindset here. But the point of this like call is not for me to take you through the process of rewriting your limiting beliefs. There are lots of other episodes of the podcast where I do exactly that. I would encourage you to go back and listen to them. You can listen to the episode about really like literally what is mindset, just like straight mindset work. But you can also listen to any of my recent episodes of podcasts where I like take you through, I actively take you through this. There's an episode that someone lovingly called a masterclass, and I can't remember exactly what the title of the episode was now, but I'll look it up. And that could be a good one too if you're looking for the how to actually flip the script. Okay. Let me get the name of that podcast episode. So it is living your highest timeline. So that's another really good one that takes you through like the active steps of how to like make some changes in your life. Sorry guys, I'm just uncomfortable and switching sitting things here. Okay. Okay. So we've talked about like where you're holding yourself back. You have to get clear on the why. As much as we would like to avoid that, we really, really, really cannot. We cannot avoid the work of getting clear on why you are holding yourself back. You need to know, because if you don't know why, then you're just going to keep yourself stuck in that loop and you're not really ever going to move in the direction that you want to move. It's not going to feel very good. Does that make sense? So I would avoid that. Just take the time and like do the mental work. And it is work, because it is work. We don't want it to be. We want to like tell a different story about that, but like you have to show up and actually do the thing. We can't just like wish things away. You know what I mean? So get clear on what's holding yourself back, get clear on the story that you're telling yourself about it, and then begin to flip the script on that. So the other thing I want to say about this is that whatever it is that you're waiting for, like you're waiting for this moment in the future, you're waiting to begin to move forward, whatever it is that you're working towards, the thing that is most important that you understand is that What you want already exists. You just need to begin taking steps towards it. So, if we are constantly postponing everything for some mystical, magical moment in the future, we are essentially wasting our one wild and precious life, as Mary Oliver would say. Like, we're not, we're not, how can I say this? Give me a second, guys. I want to like say it properly. Okay. You're wasting your precious time. And time is precious because one of the things that we could say in a capitalist society is that we have two resources, okay? We have money and we have time. And time, I would argue, is infinitely more precious than money. And so you are wasting time waiting for a moment in the future when you will feel comfortable or good enough or whatever story it is that you're telling yourself, right? Like the opposite of that story. You're waiting for this moment where you will be ready to go after what you want. But what you want actually already exists. It exists right here, right now. It exists in this moment. You don't need to go someplace else or do something different. It's right here. Okay. They do not, your dreams just, they don't exist in some future state. And by putting them off or putting them ahead in this timeline, the only thing that you're doing is delaying the possibility of you actually moving towards them. You are creating a gap between you and your dreams that simply does not exist. Okay. There's a million ways to look at this. Okay. If you can like handle the woo, we're going to go there for a second. But like your dreams already exist on a parallel to where you are now. So your dreams already exist on a timeline that is parallel to the timeline that you are living now. Okay. And all you have to do is basically decide that you are going to begin taking steps towards them and moving in that direction. Because by making that decision and by moving forward like that 1%, like no one's asking you to move mountains today. Do you want to move mountains? Cool, you can. But no one is asking that of you today if you don't want to. You are able to just move that 1% towards your dreams, slowly closing the gap. But the gap only exists because you believe that it does. Does that make sense? Because I know that sounds kind of weird, but what you want is already available to you. It is available to you right now, right now, right now. Okay. It's here right now. But what is holding you back from believing that is your belief that you are good enough, your belief that you can have it, your belief that you are capable of moving in that direction, and like whatever else. Like, and your belief in the gap, your belief that somehow, for whatever reason, the thing that you want is not already here, right? The thing that you want is not already doesn't already exist or isn't already in your reality or isn't like waiting just outside the door knocking saying, "Please, please, please let me in." We've talked about this recently on the podcast. The last couple of episodes and the next couple that are coming out are all a continuation of the same conversation, okay? We are talking about how to move forward, how to make your dreams a reality, how to believe in yourself, how to shift your mindset. Like there's a lot going on. Obviously there's a lot going on, but still we're talking about all of these things and they're all like a part of a bigger conversation essentially. So the only thing that you need to ever do is begin taking action towards it, and the only thing that is holding you back from taking action is the story that you are telling yourself about why you can't have the damn thing. That's it. That is literally it. It's not because you're lazy. There's an episode of the podcast about that too. Go search for it. It is not because you don't know what to do. It is not, maybe it's because you don't know what you want. There's an episode of the podcast about that too. Called "Do You Really Want That?" I mean, I can like literally listen, go listen to all the episodes of the podcast. I will solve every life problem that you've ever had. There's like 100 and some of them now. Like literally, like you have a problem, I got an episode for that. So like go back and listen to all of these episodes of the podcast and take yourself through the process. Get clear, figure out what you want, take action. It is not hard, people. We make it hard, but it is not hard. It does not ever have to be hard. Ever, ever, ever. Okay. There is nothing about this process that needs to be difficult except for your belief making it so. So if you choose today, right now, in this instant, on this call with me, to believe that it's easy, it's going to be easier. It's going to be a hell of a lot easier. Okay. Does that make sense? If anyone wants to, you're welcome to like pop questions in the chat and I'll answer them, or yeah, like emojis if you're feeling this or whatever, like all of that good stuff. Okay. So, yeah, like there's nothing ever holding you back besides you. And I know that that's a pill, which is why we talk so often about self responsibility, because we need to recognize, and sovereignty, actually, because we need to recognize how much power we actually have over ourselves and our lives to actually do the damn thing, right? Like we're talking about doing the damn thing, and I'm not trying to Nike you. Like I'm not saying just do it, although to a certain extent we can also just do it. But we can only just do it when we understand why the hell we haven't just done it up until now. Okay. The more masculine way of approaching goal setting is really honestly the just do it approach. Like men, when I work with male clients, they tend to say to me like, I need to do XYZ, and like I haven't been, but like I just need to like get my shit together and do it. Yeah, and like if you could do it that way, you would have already done it. Like we would be over. We would not be here having this conversation because there'd be no reason to, because you'd already have done the damn thing, right? So instead, we need to get clear on what it is that's holding you back, why you're getting in your own way. Again, mindset work, figuring out what the stories are, flipping the script, and then begin to take action moving forward. Okay. So, what does action actually look like? It looks a hell of a lot like what I just said to you. You need to get your mindset on point. Like, you need to get that shit straight. Okay. And I know that that sounds like, well, easy for you to say you're a coach, or like, oh, isn't that convenient? You're a coach and you're telling me you're a mindset coach and you're telling me that mindset is the most important. Which, like, I mean, yeah, I am. Because for me, it's number one, you teach what you most need to learn, people. I would just like to say that. So, like, I'm teaching you the thing that I probably struggle with the most, and like that I need to be in constant communication with to like really integrate. And I feel like that's true of a lot of people. And so, like, yeah, yes, I am telling you that this is the thing that you need to be focusing on. Just like every other person is going to say, like, well, what I focus on is what you need to focus on. You need to focus on what's right for you. But in this world, in this area, in this podcast, this is what the most important thing is: mindset. And you need to get that shit together. Okay. You need to get your nervous system to neutral. There's just no two ways about it. I have learned this so intensely in the last like 6 months. It's been such a blessing. But like, if your body and your system is not at neutral and is not at some sort of zero, it's very difficult to move forward. You really need to be in a space where you are able to, where you are so physically well and taken care of that the mindset work becomes second nature. Because otherwise, if your body is on high alert, the mindset work is going to seem like a massive uphill battle. And frankly, that's just a waste of your time. And I'm not about wasting my time. I'm not about wasting your time. Let's all just not waste time and like do the things that we need to do to take care of ourselves. Drink your water, get enough sleep, make sure you're nurturing yourself and taking care of yourself, self-love, self-care, and all that jazz. Like, just, you can't live without those things. Like, I shouldn't even have to tell you to do those things. I know that like we all struggle with it at times, but like you definitely need to be prioritizing those things. So get your system to neutral, get your mindset on point. Find a way to feel in balance, okay? And I actually have like a mini course coming out about this that like takes you through the steps of like how to find balance, because it just seems like that's something that so many of us are lacking. Like we're all searching for this mystical, magical kind of point, right? Of like finding balance, feeling like we're in balance, and it's really hard to get to that point. And so I've created like a really simple mini course to kind of take you through how to kind of get yourself again back to neutral, back to ground zero, both in terms like physically, mentally, spiritual, kind of like all of it. But yeah, so that's what I would say. Find a way to find balance in your life where you're in a good space, you're taking care of yourself. And if you have questions about how to do any of these things, how to get your mindset right, how to get your nervous system to neutral, how to find balance, like pop them in the chat. I'm happy to answer some of them here. And we'll see where we go from there. And then you need to get clear on the next right step. The next right step. The next one step. We are not focusing on the whole freaking pathway. We are focusing on that next one step that you need to take to get to where you want to be. That's it. That's it. You want to do the damn thing? Doing the damn thing is comprised of doing the damn thing in small doses every single day. It is not this massive, like, lunar leap where we're trying to go like from, A to Z. We are going from A to B and B to C. And maybe then we're jumping a little bit along as we go along, right? But we're not trying to get from like wherever we are. How can I say this like in a really loving way? Can you get from point A to point Z in the the blink of an eye? Yeah, you definitely can. Yes, you absolutely can. Is that how it's going to happen? I mean, probably not. Does it tend to look like you went from point A to point Z overnight when actually you went through a lot of the steps up until that point, and then all of a sudden it felt like it was like this magical thing, this like, oh my God, this miracle. It felt like a miracle. Yeah, that's probably what happened. You probably put in the legwork up until now to like get you to that point, right? So you need to focus on the next right step. Be focused, become obsessed with the 1%. Become absolutely obsessed with the 1%. That's all it takes. 1% per day is 365% at the end of the year. How amazing would your life be if you moved forward towards what you want, towards the thing that you say you want? How awesome would your life be if you just moved forward that 1%? How much would your life change? How much would shift if you just showed up for that? So we're not making a mountain out of a molehill because we don't do that here. Okay. We are not creating problems where there are none, right? Because we don't do that here either. We are just focusing on the small incremental steps that we can take every single day to get to where we want to go. Okay. Now, what is going to make all of this easier? Because I've like thrown a lot of stuff at you. So basically, let me recap. Auntie Alacia has said that you need to get clear on your limiting stories and you need to understand why they're there. And like you have to get clear on what you're taught, what you're saying to yourself, what you're thinking, what you're feeling about yourself. And then you need to flip the script on that. Okay. And then she's telling me that I need to get my mindset on point and I need to get my nervous system to neutral and I need to make sure that I'm taking care of myself at like a really, really high level. Okay. And then I need to get clear on what my next step is, which sounds like a whole hell of a lot of things to do. And you're like, I'm not here for this. Like, I don't actually really want to do any of those things, or I don't think I'm capable of doing those things. Here's the secret sauce to all of this. Okay. Here's this is like the special little extra that if you do this, it will change everything. Decide that the whole process gets to go exactly the way you want it to. Right now, in this moment, decide that every step that you take is getting you where you want to go. Decide that every little bit of effort that you put in adds up over time and makes a massive difference. Write the script of how you want all of this to unfold. Write the script of how things get to work from you from now on. I don't care, will never care how hard it has been for you up until this point, okay? Or what story you've been telling yourself up until this point, okay? This moment is a new moment. From this moment, you can decide that you are going to tell a new story about what gets to be true for you. And you can let all of that go in an instant. Again, in an instant, you really can. You don't have to. You're probably not going to, but you absolutely can let go of those things in an instant if you want to. And in order to make this whole process easier, because I'm telling you to do like a lot of things simultaneously, nothing that one, if you know me, should surprise you, and nothing that two, you shouldn't be doing already, because like the reality is that you are worthy and you are good enough and you are a fantastic and spectacular human being who deserves to be taken care of. So you should, in theory, right? Like it would be advisable at least to be nurturing yourself already and to be sleeping well and to be like drinking water and to be like making good decisions about how you spend your time each and every day, like where you're investing your energy. right? Like, you know that. I know that for you. And I know that if you're here listening to this and you've been following me for a hot minute, you know that too. You absolutely know that you are worthy of taking care of yourself. You are worthy of being seen, being loved, being appreciated. And all of that starts with you. It starts in here. It's not about anything else that's happening in the world. It's not about anyone else. It starts with you. Okay. Does that make sense? Does anyone have any questions for me about anything that I have said thus far? I have one more thing I'm going to say before like I'm kind of done my spiel. But does anyone have anything that they want to ask me? And in the meantime, I'm going to have a sip of water. So you can write that in the chat if you have anything you want to say. Actually, I lied. I have two things I want to say. Okay, I'm gonna say one thing while I wait for questions, comments, concerns, or anything. Any kind of feedback that anybody wants to give would be great. But yeah, I'm gonna say one more thing. Okay, about deciding, about making an energetic decision. I did not do this. I did not do this today. So this is like I think this is really interesting. So you get to decide how things go for you. And I found myself this morning because today was a very busy day at work. I found myself saying to myself to this morning, like, oh, I hope today goes well. I hope the lives go well. And I was just kind of sitting there like wishing and like praying is good too. Like I'm not against praying. I'm not against wishing either for that matter. But like I found myself in this space of being like wishy-washy because it's a little bit wishy-washy, isn't it? It's a little bit wishy-washy, that energy. So I found myself being in this space of like, I hope it goes well today. Like, I hope that a lot of people show up, or I hope that a lot of people get something out of it, or I hope that a lot of people like comment and engage because that's so much fun for me. And I love interacting with people. And like, yeah, I was like in this very like hopeful energy. Hopeful energy is lovely, everyone. Yes. And it is still positive and it is still good. And it's a hell of a lot better than thinking like today's going to be so hard and like whatever. Like it's still a good place to be in. Okay. But why is this relevant? Why is this important? Because I was wishing and hoping that it would go well instead of deciding that it would go well. Deciding that there's no other alternative besides it going well. That is the only option available. It going well is the only reality that I'm available for, right? I didn't get into that energy. I was in this hopeful space, but when we're in a hopeful space too, there's like a little bit of there's space there. There's a little bit of like wiggle room for like, oh, but if it doesn't, it's okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, I hope it goes well, but I mean, if it doesn't, like, no big deal. Okay, but what if we could just decide that it would be awesome all the time and then kind of like use that as our like launch pad, as our springboard, right? Like if we decide that everything is going to go well, then everything is already starting off at such a higher level than it would be otherwise because we've poured our energy and our belief into this idea that it is going to go well. And we're backing ourselves. Like we're really, really showing up for ourselves and what we want, basically, and what we want. Does that make sense? Does anyone have any questions about anything that I've said before we like go into the last little caveat, last little special note about this topic? I'm going to give you guys a second to respond if anyone has anything they want to say. And also, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for joining me live. It really means the world to me. I'm really grateful that you're here. Mm. All right. If anyone has anything they want to say, they can as I'm finishing this last bit. So, my last thought on this, okay, about doing the damn thing is this. Doing the damn thing does not mean that you are not resting and taking breaks. They are not mutually exclusive. Okay. We are not doing the thing and sacrificing ourselves. We are doing the thing and taking exceptional care of ourselves at the same time. And like, again, someone could say, easy for you to say. Yeah, perhaps. But I mean, this is all a choice at the end of the day. We get to choose the way that we show up for ourselves. Okay. And the idea that we would move towards any goal or any dream while sacrificing ourselves is actual madness. Like, that's insane. Paint me a picture of what happens when you get the goal, when you get where you're trying to go. Okay. You reach the goal, you achieve it, it's done, you have it. And along the way, you did not take any care of yourself, did not rest, did not take proper breaks, did not fill up your cup, did not have fun with life. Like, how do you think you're going to feel when you get to the goal? Are you going to be happy? Are you going to be thrilled? Are you going to be vibing, flying high? Or are you going to get there and be like, oh, that's it? Like, it really does not make sense to sacrifice yourself, your health, your well being along the way of getting the goal. The goal doesn't matter. It does not matter. The thing that matters is the way that you show up for yourself every single day. That's what matters most. So, showing up for yourself in the small moments, in your routine, in your health, in your self care, in your fitness, in your sleep, showing up for yourself along the way of moving towards what you want, that's the magic. Because when you can learn to take care of yourself, when you can learn to not compromise the things that you know that you need while going through the thing, that is true success. No amount of money is going to buy you health. No amount of money is going to give you the time back that you used to get to that space. So you might as well enjoy every step of the getting there, because otherwise you won't enjoy the being there either. Right. So we are never sacrificing rest to do the damn thing, because like that's a lot of what it is. No, like hustle culture. And like this episode sounds like it's about hustling. No, this episode has absolutely nothing to do with hustling. Nothing. Please don't ever like, don't get tripped up. That's not what we're here for. Doing the damn thing means doing it well, intentionally, doing it with your own energy, doing it healthy, doing it happy. Okay. And actually doing it, not just like sitting on your hands and being like, oh, I wish one day, perhaps, maybe I will. It's not about that. It's about the small steps that you take to get there. But don't forget that the health and the wellness, that is part of the steps that you take to get there. That's part of the getting there. They're not separate. They are not separate. Okay. Okay. How could we start to actually believe, hello, how could we start to actually believe what we are saying to ourselves will be true? Yes, that's a really good question. Okay. Okay. How can I answer this? When we start, and also, hi, Sarah. Thank you for being here. Thank you for asking a question. I'm in love with you. Okay. How can we actually get ourselves to start believing what we're telling ourselves? Okay. At the beginning, let's just call a spade a spade. I'm not here to bullshit you, because that would be a waste of both of our times. At the beginning, you probably are not going to really buy into it. Like, it's probably not going to be the easiest thing to just kind of say like, okay, all of a sudden I've been I've been thinking this way for like 20 years and today I have decided I'm going to think this way. It can it be that easy? Yes. The answer is always yes. Yes, it can be that easy. It can be. Is it going to be? Maybe not. Okay. So how can we work with sorry, how can we work with the energy that you have right now, the story that you have right now, and how can we begin to transition? The easiest way to transition is by using transitional phrases. Okay, when we are reworking our mindset to move from A to B, the easiest way to do that is to say things like, I'm in the process of. So like whatever it is that you're working towards, like let's say you want to get healthy. You're not going to go around saying I am healthy because your body and your mind are going to say, well, that's some bullshit. Like that's not true at all. So you're not going to go around saying that to yourself, but you can say things like I'm in the process of getting healthy, and the way that pings here is totally different. Because if you are taking steps towards getting healthy and you say to yourself, I am in the process of getting healthy, that is true. You may not be healthy yet, but you are indeed in the process. And your body accepts that. Your system accepts that as true. Okay. So you've made it like, it's almost like affirmations with training wheels. Like you have given yourself something to believe in. You have given yourself something to sink your teeth into and to begin working with. Another thing is I'm willing to like be healthy. I'm open to becoming healthy. I am beginning to see myself as being healthy or as thriving or whatever it is that you're working towards, right? Does that make sense? So you can use these introductory phrases, but also now this is the masterclass. Okay. So that's like the training wheels version because that's what they are. They're training wheels on your affirmations or on your new beliefs. Okay. You've added this phrase to make the new belief that you were trying to integrate real for you and true for you. Okay. But here's the flex. Here's the juice. You can also just begin to believe it. And I know nobody likes that. I know I'm not anyone's favorite person for having said those words right now. But like, let me break this down. You can actually just start to believe it. So, when you hear yourself saying the old story, you're saying the same thing you've said like 7 million times, even you're sick of hearing it. You know what I mean? You're telling yourself that same old story. In the moment when you catch yourself, you can use the training wheels version, or you can just say, stop, stop. And then one of the things that I say all the time on the podcast, we don't do that here anymore. We don't do that here anymore. So, whatever the story is that you're telling yourself, you're cutting it off, right? And then you say the thing that you want to believe. So if you're trying to get healthy, we're going to run with this for now. Okay. You're trying to get healthy and you say to yourself, like, oh, I had that cake at lunch again. And also, please don't say this to yourself. Please don't ever have that conversation with yourself. Do not ever punish yourself for the things that you've done because you are just a little human and you are doing the best that you can. So like that is not a good use of your time. But anyways, for the sake of this conversation, we're going to use this idea. You say to yourself, "Oh, I had that cake at lunch, but like I'm trying to get healthy and like, oh, I'm so stupid and I did it again and like I can't believe I did it again and like why can I never figure this out? Why can I never just get it right? Why can I never just, make the decisions that I need to make and like why is this so hard for me all the time?" And whoa, right? Like we're spiraling. Your thoughts are literally now completely out of control, right? And so what can you do in that case? You can say, "Stop. Stop. Like, cut the bullshit. We don't do that here anymore, right? I don't do that here. I don't do that. I don't talk to myself that way anymore. I don't believe that anymore. I'm not buying into that story. I'm not feeding that story because that is essentially what we're doing with limiting beliefs. We are feeding the beast. Don't do it. Don't feed the beast." Like, I know that sounds like easier said than done. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it's just a choice. And we all have that much power. But you know what the problem is that much power scares the shit out of us. Okay? That much power means that everything that happens in our life all of a sudden becomes our responsibility. All of a sudden that everything that we think, every experience that we have, everything that we have like in front of us, the relationships that we're in, the job that we have, everything that annoys us and disappoints us, all of a sudden dealing with that becomes our responsibility. When we realize that we have that much power, we get scared shitless and we're just like, yeah, not going to do that today. And then we just like walk the other direction because we don't want to do the work that it takes to be responsible for our lives because it scares us. Because it's like, holy shit, that's a lot. There's a lot to do here. And like, yes and no. Yes and no, because that's also a story. And it's like hilarious because when we start doing mindset work, like I swear, when you start doing mindset work, you begin to realize how much bullshit you're telling yourself about your own bullshit. You're just like piling stories one on top of the other about like how things are. So like not only do you believe that you are not healthy? Believe that you are an idiot because you're not healthy? Believe that you should be trying harder, should be doing all of these things? You're then telling yourself the story that it's hard to change that thought pattern or that it's hard in and of itself to get healthy. Like there's so many layers happening there. And like it's our job to slowly peel them back one at a time. Con calma. That's not English, but like slowly, just slowly, one step at a time, 1% at a time. Become fucking obsessed with the 1% because it's the 1% that is going to change your life. So you really can just decide to go back to to end this rant. Anyways, sorry, like went overboard. But yeah, to end this rant, you really can also just decide. But yeah, does anyone else have any more questions? And also, I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. I'm going to take another sip of water to like rehydrate after my rant. But does anyone have anything else that they want to ask? And like, Sarah, does that answer your question as well? Okay. I think you're amazing. I took notes. No, that's so cute. Thank you so much. Okay. So we're going to close out. We're going to do a quick meditation just to kind of re-center and ground ourselves. But before we do, I want to say one more thing. Um, I want to say a lot of things, actually. Number one, I want to say that there are going to be more events like this. There are going to be more lives. So if you're catching the replay of this and not the live version, then please do keep an eye out, subscribe, follow, and all of that jazz and whatever. But yeah, there's going to be more lives, and I would love to engage with you in that space. It's lovely being here one on one, but whatever. Do you know what I mean? One to many. It's lovely being here in this being able to engage with you guys. It's really really important to me. So I'm really happy to be here, and I look forward to doing this again. The other thing that I want to say is this: you are infinitely worthy of whatever you want. You are infinitely, infinitely, infinitely worthy of whatever you want. And please do not let anyone else, but especially do not let yourself tell you otherwise. You are infinitely worthy. You are infinitely capable. You can have whatever you want. You can be whoever you want. There is nothing holding you back but the story that you are telling yourself. That is it. And so, if you are questioning, oh, well, how can I make this work for me? Or how can I move forward? I want you to know this. I believe in you. I believe in you. Okay. I believe in you when in those moments when you don't believe in yourself. I want you to remember, even if I don't know you, even if we've never met in person, we've never had any kind of contact, I want you to understand that I am here rooting for you. I am cheering you on. And I know in the depths of me, like from my freaking toes, I know that you can do, have, and be whatever you want. The only thing that is missing is you believing that too. That's it. So get out of your own way, learn to love yourself, take exceptional care of yourself because you deserve it. And then get out there and do the damn thing already. Okay? Okay. Good. We're going to meditate. Okay, I have to uncross my legs because that's my bad habit. That's my that's my bad habit in life is crossing my legs, sitting all the time with my legs crossed. Okay. And just in case anybody has any other questions, you're welcome to drop them in while we do this, while we do the meditation. Okay. And then if I will try to answer them before we finish up. Okay. Close your eyes. Uncross your legs, feet flat on the floor, back straight, shoulders back. Begin taking deep breaths. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the bravery of the people who showed up, who asked questions, who decided to play a bigger game. A huge amount of love and gratitude to all who are listening to this. And I just want you all to know that you are so, so, so worthy. Keep breathing in and out, long, slow inhales and exhales. You are so worthy. You are so, so worthy. And you are beyond capable. And every time you show up for yourself this way, you shift a little more. You get a little closer to the outcome that you're looking for. It all gets a little bit more real, a little bit more tangible. You can feel it. You can feel yourself moving closer to it. And every time you listen to this, you know that you are a little bit more worthy. You are even more worthy than you were before. And you know that you'll be even more worthy tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. But you were born worthy. Worthy is your baseline. It is where you come from. And you're so, so capable of making anything that you want happen in your life. Take a deep breath in with me, in through the nose, and sigh it out. One more time, in through the nose, and sigh it out. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for your time and your patience and your presence. I'm so, so grateful for you. And I am looking forward to seeing you on the next live. And oh, yeah, where can you find me? Yeah, that's important. No, you can find me on my website, www.candicealacia.com. And you can find me on social media if you really want to. I'm not particularly active on there, but I mean, fly at her. But the main place to find me is my podcast, the Wild Free Well podcast. It is available everywhere that you find podcasts. And yeah, just I would love to connect with you more. So if you have anything that you want to share afterwards, you can find all my contact info on my website, and then you can reach out to me as well. I'm happy to support you in any way that I can. So yeah, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and yeah, have an amazing rest of your week as well. And I will see you on the next episode. Take care. Bye.